For the session of the 28th of June 2021, Darkpulse Inc. closed at $0.0739, a very tiny extension of 0.14%. 58 million shares crossed the tape during that session, and we have a position in Darkpulse. It's important that you know that. And you can see it has a market cap of $347.2 million, 4.698 billion shares outstanding. And moving down, there's a piece of news here you must have come across as well. It says Darkpulse, a technology company focused on the manufacture, sale, installation, and monitoring of laser sensing systems based on its patented BOTDA Darkpulse sensor technology, which provides a data stream of critical metrics for assessing the health and security of infrastructure. Today announced it has signed a teaming agreement with SourceSafe LLC to act as the company's safety support and quality assurance auditor. SourceSafe has an unwavering commitment to an incident-free workplace for the benefit of employees, customers, and community. They assist in developing a safety culture that establishes results by maintaining a safe and healthy project for all employees, committing resources to protect and support safety efforts, assisting employees to take responsibility and ownership for safety every day. So moving on, we can see what's going on with the stock. It has become quite popular of late. Even we can't exactly call it a meme stock. At some point, we had this extension that reached that occurred on the, rather I would say, one of the major extensions. Okay, it wasn't just one day. It all started on the, I would say it started on the 8th of June, if I'm correct about that. Yes, it started on 8th of June, and by the 16th of June we had a retracement. Yes, but since that time again, which was good as well, we'll probably call that a correction. Was that a correction? So from this price is 0.068 down here. Yes, I think we can call it a correction. Yes, it's definitely a correction. On the 16th we had a correction on the 16th, but since that time the stock has continued to extend, which created a very perfect opportunity for market participants to get involved. The stock ran up, probably up to 4 sessions of extension, corrected. Definitely market participants had to jump in, and it created an opportunity for the short-term moving averages to just close up the gap. You can see that. You can see what happened now. It's closed up the gap, between the stock itself and that 10-day moving average. You can see it closed up. And at some point when it was running up these extensions, I'm sure these moving averages were not anywhere close, but it's really good, at least indicating the stock has not really escaped as such, even though it's still trading at a premium to that 10-day moving average, but it's not a huge one that you would see like it will be when it was at this price as at the 15th. That moving average definitely wasn't anywhere closer as such. So that's really good, but moving on, before we conclude, we can see the price rate of change is not as strong as we would expect. The unbalanced volume indicator is also looking bullish. MACD histograms above 0 and definitely rising, and also the 14-period slow stochastic oscillator. This reflected that correction, but it's also improving. And the MACD is definitely above the signal line. It appears to be in a strong bullish trend. Its 200-day moving average is upward sloping. The MACD histogram is above 0 and rising, and it's definitely outperforming the S&P 500. Momentum strongly bullish. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay high prices for shares. The volume for that session, the 28th of June, was lighter than usual, trading 58.028 million shares versus an average of 152.319 million shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So that's good. I think the fact that we are having this volume and also a light volume with an extension, it's a good sign. I think it's a good sign because what it simply says it's that maybe the stock has gradually, on a low day, on a low volume day, it is still maintained a tiny extension. So what it means also that a lot of selling must have also occurred if it only managed to eke out an extension of 0.14. So a lot of selling must have also occurred, but at the same time, it's a good balance. It's a good balance, and after the whole activity of the day, the stock gradually inched up. So at least there isn't a very big worry that market participants are escaping the stock right now. So in the absence of there was indeed some news. So I wouldn't even see why they would really want to escape. But so it's a good sign. It's consolidating. It's not on a very low volume day. It did not collapse. So the people who are still bullish are very much there. So there isn't very much worry that in the coming sessions that people are going to take money off the table. But indeed, it could be the case. So the signs are very much positive, and the stock has is bunching things up now. The chart is not that widely. The moving averages are not so far apart. I mean, especially the 10-day and the with reference to the stock itself, it's not that far apart as I indicated earlier on. So you can see the 10 days currently trading at the 10-day average is trading at the price of 0.07 approximately, but the stock is trading at 0.0739. So we can see there's it's the premium is not a huge one as such. So as a matter of fact, that's okay. Yes, okay. The moving averages are actually trading at 0.067. So okay, a premium of close to or not up to even a cent or thereabouts. So I mean, given that the stock is strongly bullish, you would expect that to be the case. So let's quickly see what's going on in the post market. Nothing's going on. The stock doesn't any activity for its post session, or maybe doesn't really trade in the post market. So based on what we are even looking at right now, this is what happened just a few hours before that session closed. The stock was actually, you can see that it's good we are looking at this. It was actually trying to extend again. So after the close, it was just slightly below its 76.4% extension, or rather retracement level. It was actually indeed recovering. You can see it recovering. So it reached this high just a few hours before the session closed, 14:26 Eastern US time. It reached this high of $0.0745. Retraced, it was very much cyclical here, but by the last few minutes, it was extending. So, and just a few inches away from 0.074 itself. So the 14 period slow stochastic oscillator closed on a good note as well. MACD, I believe, should be slightly above the signal line there. So Darkpulse fundamentals are looking okay, and if you really want to get involved, the stock is a penny stock. But at the same time, the fact that it is a penny stock does not mean that there isn't any risk. It looks very much cheap, so just be careful, know what you're doing. Technically, it's trading at a premium to its moving averages, even though it extended on a very light volume. I would still urge you to be very careful as well. The stock has been extending for some sessions. There's a good chance that in the coming sessions it may not be the reverse may be the case. So just know what you're doing, and be careful, and just be cautious. Test the waters. Get involved if you want to get involved with a small amount of money. and see what's going to happen in thereafter. Know whether you're going to proceed with more or less. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video.